That $25 an hour you see flashing on your Uber screen? It's a lie. Or at least, it's half-truth that costs you real money. After you subtract the gas, the wear and tear on your transmission, and the taxes you owe because you're technically a business owner, that number usually crashes down to $8 an hour. You aren't making extra cash. You are likely losing money every time you hit go online. I'm going to show you the exact math behind the gig economy illusion so you can stop driving for pennies and start building actual wealth. On the Money Decoded, we strip away the hype from side hustles to show you what actually works and what's just burning gas. Today, we're doing a deep dive into the true cost of being an Uber or DoorDash driver in 2026. Let's look at the screen first. You open the app, and it says you earned $25 for that 1-hour trip. It feels good. It feels like progress. But here is the trap. That number is your gross revenue, not your profit. Think of yourself as a small business owner. If you ran a bakery, would you count the money in the register as pure profit before paying for flour, rent, and electricity? No, you'd subtract those costs first. But gig apps don't do that subtraction for you. They leave it to you, hoping you're too tired after a long shift to care. The biggest hidden cost isn't gas, though fuel prices in 2026 are still hovering around $3.50 per gallon on average. The real killer is depreciation. Your car is an asset that loses value every single mile you drive it for work. The IRS allows you to deduct mileage, but the market doesn't care about tax deductions. If you drive 10,000 miles a year for Uber, you are adding significant wear and tear. Tires die faster. Brakes need replacing sooner. The battery drains quicker. A typical sedan loses about $4,000 in value per year just from normal use. Add in gig driving miles, and that depreciation accelerates. You might be earning $25 an hour, but if your car's value drops by $300 over the course of a month because of those extra miles, you've already lost a chunk of that profit. Then there is insurance. Most people think their personal auto policy covers them while they're driving for Uber. It doesn't. There is a gap in coverage between the time you turn on the app and the time you pick up a passenger. If you get into an accident during that window, your personal insurer might deny the claim, leaving you with thousands in out-of-pocket costs. Many drivers don't realize they need a rideshare endorsement or a separate commercial policy, which can add $50 to $100 a month to their bills. That is another invisible leak in your hourly wage. So when you look at that $25 figure, you have to ask, what does it actually cover? It covers the time you spent driving, yes, but it doesn't cover the fact that your car is aging faster than if you just kept it in the garage. It doesn't cover the stress of navigating traffic for tips that might not even materialize. And it certainly doesn't cover the taxes you're going to owe come April. Most drivers treat gig income like a bonus, but the government treats it like self-employment income. That means you are on the hook for both the employer and employee portion of Social Security and Medicare taxes. That is a 15.3% hit that never appeared on your app screen. If you don't set aside 25% of every dollar you earn for taxes, you aren't making money. You're borrowing from your future self. Now let's do the math that the apps won't show you. According to recent data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics and independent analyses from CNBC, the average gross hourly earnings for gig drivers in 2026 have stabilized around $22. But gross is meaningless without net. Let's take a realistic scenario. You drive for 4 hours on a Saturday night. You gross $90. That sounds decent. Now, let's subtract the expenses. First, fuel and maintenance. The IRS standard mileage rate for 2026 is 67 cents per mile. This isn't just gas. It's a proxy for depreciation, repairs, tires, and insurance. If you average 15 miles per hour while driving for Uber, which includes waiting time and traffic, that's 60 miles. 60 miles times 67 cents is $40.02. So right there, your $90 drops to $49.98. You've already lost nearly half your earnings just to keep the car running. Next, let's talk about taxes. As an independent contractor, you owe self-employment tax on your net earnings. If we assume you made a profit of $50 after expenses, you need to set aside roughly $12 for taxes. That leaves you with $38 for 4 hours of work. Do the division. That is $9.5 an hour. In most states, minimum wage is now $13 or $14 an hour. You are working harder, taking on more risk, and earning less than a fast food cashier who gets paid by the clock without worrying about their car's transmission. This brings us to the opportunity cost. This is the concept that matters most for your financial future. Opportunity cost is what you give up by choosing one option over another. If you spend 4 hours driving for Uber, what else could you be doing? Maybe you could be taking overtime at your day job. Let's say your regular job pays $20 an hour, but overtime pays $30 an hour. In those same 4 hours, you'd make $120. No gas expenses deducted from your paycheck because the company car or commute is separate. No tax withholding surprises because your employer handles that. No wear and tear on your personal vehicle. The gig economy sells you freedom, but it often buys you poverty wages disguised as flexibility. The data shows that while some top-tier drivers in high-demand cities like New York or San Francisco can make legitimate money, the median driver across the US is barely breaking even after expenses. And breaking even isn't a strategy. It's stagnation. You're trading your time for pennies, and worse, you're aging your primary asset, your car, for no real return. The app algorithms are designed to keep you online, offering small incentives that feel like rewards but are actually just enough to keep the bleeding slow. You think you're beating the system by picking up extra shifts, but you're likely losing money on every single trip when you account for the full cost of ownership. If this breakdown is making you rethink your side hustle strategy, hit subscribe. We break down the real numbers behind income streams so you can build wealth, not just burn gas. So, does this mean you should delete the apps and never look back? Not necessarily. It means you need to drive smarter or pivot entirely. Here are 3 concrete steps to take this week. First, track your expenses religiously. Stop guessing. Use an app like MileIQ or even a simple spreadsheet to log every mile, every fill-up, and every repair related to gig work. You need to know your exact cost per mile. If you don't have this data, you're flying blind. Set a rule. If your net profit after expenses and taxes doesn't exceed $20 an hour, the shift isn't worth it. Walk away. The app will call you back tomorrow with another surge promise, but you'll know the math doesn't work. Second, consider switching to higher value gig work. Delivery driving is low skill and high competition. Look into gigs that leverage specific skills or assets. Renting out your driveway on Neighbor, offering freelance riding if you have a background in it, or even pet sitting through Rover can offer better margins because the overhead is lower. Pet sitting, for example, has zero fuel costs and minimal wear and tear. You're trading time for money, but without the heavy asset depreciation of a car. The barrier to entry might be slightly higher in terms of trust and reviews, but the net profit per hour is often double that of food delivery. Third, use your gig income to fund true investments, not just lifestyle inflation. If you do decide to drive, treat it as a temporary bridge, not a long-term strategy. Set up a separate high-yield savings account for your gig earnings. Every time you make a deposit, automatically transfer 50% into a taxable brokerage account or a Roth IRA. This way, even if the hourly wage is low, you're capturing tax-advantaged growth. But be honest with yourself. If you're driving to pay off credit card debt, you're likely digging a deeper hole due to the hidden costs we discussed. It's better to negotiate a raise at your day job or pick up overtime hours where the expenses are covered by the employer. The bottom line is this: money is only money if it stays in your pocket after all the bills are paid. The gig economy apps show you the top-line revenue because that's what keeps you scrolling. Your job is to look at the bottom line. Calculate your true hourly wage, factor in the depreciation of your vehicle, and compare it to other options. If the math doesn't work, don't force it. There are better ways to build wealth than wearing out your brakes for a few dollars an hour. The gig economy isn't broken. Your calculation of its costs is. Stop looking at gross pay and start tracking net profit. Tomorrow, we're breaking down the truth about passive income from real estate crowdfunding. See you then.